Hello students, in this lecture you will learn about what is called as ferroelectricity. Ferroelectricity is a topic in the electrostatics. To understand what is ferroelectricity, you have to recall what is ferromagnetism, which you have studied in the lower class. So in your lower class, you have studied something called as the magnetic materials. So this you have to revise first. To tell you in short, what are magnetic materials? The magnetic materials are the materials which can be attracted or repelled by a bar magnet. They are classified into three types. First one is dielectric material, second is paramagnetic material, third is ferromagnetic material. A diamagnetic materials get weakly repelled by bar magnet. Then paramagnetic materials get weakly attracted by bar magnet. The ferromagnetic materials get strongly attracted by bar magnet. Now repelled or get attracted, that means they are magnetized. In the magnetism, there is a concept of magnetization. Magnetization is a physical quantity. The magnetization is also a process to make the material magnetic. Just like in electrostatics, we have a polarization. Polarization is a concept of polarizing a dielectric material. The polarization is also a physical quantity in the electrostatics. Now, in the magnetism, we are more interested here, what are the ferromagnetic material? The ferromagnetic materials get strongly attracted by bar magnet. Then a certain ferromagnetic materials can become a permanent magnet. So this property is called as the ferromagnetism. Some get attracted by bar magnet. Some, even if the bar magnet is not there, they will have its own magnetic field. So they get permanently magnetized. So in same way, similar to the ferromagnetism, we have concept of ferroelectricity in the electrostatics. So now we'll see exactly what is the meaning of the ferroelectricity. That is a permanent polarization. It is called a permanent polarization. Just like in magnetism, there is a permanent magnetization, and that is called as a ferromagnetism. And in the electrostatic, there is a permanent polarization. It is called as a ferroelectricity. We have already seen earlier that molecular field responsible for the polarizing the individual molecule, vector EM, is equal to vector E plus 1 by 3 epsilon 0 vector P. Now this vector E is a macroscopic electric field. Now macroscopic electric field, that means it is the external electric field which is responsible to produce the electric field at some point in the dielectric. Then this is due to all other molecules inside the dielectric. Second term. So vector E is a macroscopic electric field that is due to external sources, and 1 upon 3 epsilon 0 vector P is the electric field which is produced at some point in the dielectric because of the polarization of those other molecules. Now in most cases, in most of the dielectric, what are called as the linear dielectric. Linear dielectric means one physical quantity is directly proportional to other physical quantity. And again isotropic means they have same direction. So we have already seen earlier that vector P is proportional to vector E, and see, if the vector E, external electric field is more, polarization will be more. And that constant of proportionality, it is called as the chi, is a Greek symbol. It is called as a susceptibility. So in this equation 1, we substitute that P equal to chi E, and we get vector EM equal to vector E plus 1 upon 3 epsilon 0 chi vector E. Now, vector EM vanishes when vector E equal to 0. That means if external electric field is 0, then the electric field at some point in the dielectric will be 0. But when P is not proportional to E, see, P is not proportional to E, so we cannot substitute for P that chi E. So P is not proportional to E, and E equal to 0, external field is 0. Then vector EM equal to 1 upon 3 epsilon 0 vector P naught. That means although external field is not 0, there is a molecular field at some point in the dielectric. That means there is a polarization. So this vector P naught is a polarization when external electric field is 0. So we write suffix 0. That means what happens is, if P naught exists under this condition, vector E equal to 0 means external field is 0, and P naught exists, that means that material is already polarized in absence of the external electric field. That means it is permanently polarized. Even without external field, it is a polarized. So it will create electric field at the molecule which tend to polarize the molecule. So this is a thing. So external field is 0, at the polarization is there. So the dipole moment, it contributes to the electric field, which is the molecular electric field. So when vector E equal to 0, P equal to P naught. So here the polarization is there even when external electric field is not present. Now this we have already seen earlier, alpha polarizability. P naught, here it is P naught divided by a capital N. N is the number of molecules per unit volume, and vector EM is the molecular electric field, and this vector EM equal to 1 upon 3 epsilon 0 P naught when extra field is equal to 0. So that is required for the permanent polarization of the molecule even in the absence of the electric field. Otherwise we have seen that if external field is not there, then whether it is a polar molecule or the non-polar molecule, dielectric, polar dielectric or non-polar dielectric, the net dipole moment is 0. So here now, this from this equation P naught equal to N alpha EM, we get it like this. EM we substitute N alpha 1 by 3 epsilon 0 vector P naught. Now all these quantities which I have taken when external electric field is 0. Now here again we have P naught equal to N alpha 1 by 3 epsilon 0 P naught. So when this equation is true, if P naught is 0, so left hand side is 0, so right hand side is 0, P naught is 0. Or when P naught and P naught cancel, P naught is non-zero, P naught and P naught cancels, it is N alpha 1 by 3 epsilon 0 equal to 1. So under this condition, the dielectric material is permanently polarized. So this is a condition for permanent polarization. N alpha 1 upon 3 epsilon 0 equal to E. And this is how we have obtained. We have obtained when external electric field is 0. There is a polarization 1 by 3 epsilon 0 P naught. And this is true when that polarization is not proportional to the electric field. Then now such thing is not there for all magnetic material. Example, electric material. Even in magnetism, the permanent magnet are not always there. Only in certain material you can make them permanent magnet. Same way here in the electrostatics, this in order that a given dielectric material is permanently polarized, that means it has a dielectric material has a electric dipole moment, even in the absence of the external electric field, then this condition has to be satisfied. N alpha 1/3 epsilon 0 equal to 3. But what happens is all materials do not satisfy this condition. In most cases, this is less than 1. And then ordinary dielectric behavior results. Just this word ordinary, it is ordinary dielectric material. But if this is equal to 1, then there is a permanent polarization. Now this phenomena is called as a ferroelectricity in comparison with the ferromagnetism. Now this happens only for a few crystallized solids, not all solid, only few crystallized solid. So they are ferromagnetic materials. Now example of the ferroelectric material is barium titanate. It exhibits a spontaneous dipole moment at temperature about 120 degrees. Now that is called the Curie point. Now same term is used, what is there in the magnetism. But what happens is, as compared to the ferromagnetism, this ferroelectric electricity is highly stable. See now, if you take a ferromagnetic material, even if you take a bar magnet, if you heat it to very high temperature, we know that at a certain temperature it becomes a paramagnet. That means it loses its permanent magnetization. Even if you take a magnetic material and if you hammer it or if you mishandle it, then also it loses the magnetic property. But such thing is not there for the ferroelectric material like barium titanate. Whether you heat it or if you disturb it, if you hammer it, then also that ferroelectric property remains, that permanent polarization remains. And this is the reason they are thinking of making the memory devices in the computer system from this ferroelectric material. You keep a ferroelectric slab between the two parallel plates. It serves a basic element of the memory device capable of storing plus minus or minus plus. I will tell you the meaning of this plus minus or minus plus. And its polarization persists in the absence of the electric field. Now, in the old type CDs, compact disc, see the computer data is always stored into zeros and one. It is a digital data. All computer data is stored in the devices of the computer as zeros and one. The computer cannot understand other than zeros and one. In fact, the what is called as a C language example or any other computer language, even that language the computer component cannot understand. So that C language is converted into what is called as a assembly language, and assembly language is converted into the machine language. This machine language is in terms of zeros and one. Okay, so that C language and other languages which are used, they are for our practical purpose because it is easier to write it. But in the computer or in a laptop or in your mobile, there are what are called as the compilers. They will convert these languages into terms of the zeros and one. So actually the programming in 0 and 1, that means some the program is written, actually it is made of the zeros and 1 only. Okay, and only this computer component can understand that. And similarly the example CDs, compact disc, now it is no longer used, but a few years back they were very much used. In the CDs, in fact, you will find that a lot of holes are made there, and you will not be able to see. They are very small, tiny holes, microscopic holes. Now, how the data is stored? Data is in terms of zeros and one. If there is a hole, it represents 1. If at a point there is no hole, then it represents 0. So that is how a data is written on the CDs Suppose you want to store there some data. Data can be anything. It can be a text, it can be a picture, it can be an image. Data is stored in terms of zeros and one. So with the laser, when this data is copied on the CDs, with the laser will pass to produce a 1, and at certain point if 0 is there, then the laser will not be passed. Even while reading that CDs, then a laser will be sent to it. If it passes, that means 1 is present. If it doesn't pass at a point, that means 0 is present. Then that is in the CDs. It is called as an optical device. CDs are called as optical devices because the laser light is used. But presently, the optical devices are no longer used. They use the magnetic devices. Example, pen drive is a magnetic device. Hard disk is a magnetic device. Now, in the magnetic device, this data is stored with a dipole moment of a molecule in one direction and dipole moment in the opposite direction. So dipole moment in one direction, it represents 0. Dipole moment in opposite direction, it represents 1. So when that data is stored on the pen drive or on the hard disk, so certain with the help of the magnetic field, that dipole moment is made in one direction if you want to store 0, other direction if you want to store 1. Okay, so that is how it is done. But what happens is, this many times we say that these CDs, pen drive, they get corrupted. They may get corrupted because of the surrounding temperature or mishandling. So it is not reliable to store on the magnetic devices like a hard disk and a pen drive, because over the time suddenly you will find that you are not able to read what is there inside because of some reason, maybe temperature or mishandling, it get corrupted. But this dielectric cannot be so much easily corrupted because they are unaffected by the temperature and mishandling. So suppose you take a dielectric like a barium titanate, which is a ferroelectric, then if you keep it between the two plates and by applying the electric field, you can make it that dipole in one direction or dipole in the other direction depending upon what you want to store, 0 or 1. Okay, so now this is a future technology. So far it has not come, but research is going on. Instead of the pen drive, hard disk, they want to use this ferroelectric material for the storage of the data. Just like in the ferromagnetism, you might have studied a graph of the magnetization against the magnetic field. It was called as the hysteresis loop. In same way, in the ferroelectric material, we draw the graph of polarization against the electric field. As here electric field is 0. As electric field increases, the polarization increases, but it is not a linear. Then it reaches a saturation value, constant value of polarization. If you decrease the electric field, it does not trace the path, but it lags behind. So still it has the polarization. Still it is polarized. Even external electric field is 0, still it is polarized. Then it gets completely depolarized, that E equal to 0 at this point. So nowhere you will find that in this case they overlap each other. They always lag behind. Now you will get a 2 point here, this point. So this is a polarization. Even when the electric field is 0, another point, polarization, the dielectric is polarized even when the external electric field is 0. So one of them represent that electric dipole in one direction and other point represent electric dipole moment in the opposite direction, because this is positive and this is negative. Okay, so this is called as a hysteresis loop. It is similar to hysteresis loop which you have studied in the ferromagnetic material.